Diggity dog. Hello everyone, it's MyYard here. It's time to talk about 2K22 because I got to play it. It was a work in progress build, so it was not the whole game. It was expedition modes and MyGM mode, so no access to MyFaction or My Rise or Showcase mode or Creation Suites or the Universe mode. So it was just those two modes to focus on. But give me your answers, give me your questions, and I'll let you ask what I can say. Hello to Mark, hello to Steve, to Clayton, to Robert, and I'm going to go through as much as I can. Some things I will not know, especially on the gameplay side of things, because there was a limited amount of time to play. There will be some things I can't talk about either because I don't know the answer to them, basically. So I'll just start off with the first thing I see on the list, and that is any Hell in a Cell changes. So with regards to Hell in a Cell, getting out of the cell, you can still use a finisher to do that, and it seems to be the suplex spear and all that still seems to be in the game. It seems to take a lot less Irish whips into the cell to open it up, which is good, to be honest, because it took forever before. It doesn't take that long now, which is handy. And then climbing is the same, getting to the top's the same, throwing people off it looks to be the same, and diving off is the Shane O'Mac elbow, but you can't use the announce table to put someone on to be able to do that diving elbow drop, which is a little bit annoying. The announce table can't be removed in the Hell in a Cell match. The announce table itself, though, because I know I didn't talk about this, the announce table itself was different. All the monitors get knocked off in one go. They are like the actual announce table monitors, not the old school monitors. Oh, thank you, Clayton. I don't expect money. Can you trade stars in MyGM? I don't believe there is a trade function per se. The functionality with it was you have the draft. Occasionally you'll get a message from a superstar that wants to maybe move on to your brand, or they feel upset and they want to go to the other brand unless you give them more money. I don't think there's a trade option, but this wasn't the final build, so there could be that option later down the line. Is MSK in the game? I didn't see an MSK. Machine Gun. Oh, sorry, I was thinking Machine Gun Kelly. MSK? Why am I being... oh, Wesley and Ash Carter. Well, I didn't see the full roster, so I can't really comment on roster people because we don't know who... the final list could be completely different on that. I do like the new announce table removal part of it. It's still the same announce table finishes and stuff like that. New match types. We didn't see any new match types other than the Backstage brawl. Like I say, don't give me roster questions because I'm not going to know the full answer. Just literally roster. What we've been told from WWE 2K regards to it, that's all I know. Okay, I don't know any more at the minute until we see the final version of the game. Things can easily change on that. Is 2K22 better than 2K19? That is the $64,000 question, isn't it? I think the control scheme for 2K22 is more complicated than 2K19's. There is more fluidity with 2K22 than there was for 20. It does literally remain to be seen if we can do that, if it's going to work or not. I'm getting messages all the time. This doesn't help. It's loads of happening at the same time. Mute my phone. Get through it later. Is there still 8-man matches? Yes, there is 8-man matches. There's 8-man tag. Let me get... I wrote a list for myself. So let me get my list up. Oh, the match ended. Let me get changed. I should have this on loop, actually. That would help. Properties. Loop it. There we go. Ding, ding. Because I've got a list of the titles and stuff. So... we have, in 1v1s in this build, there was normal, false count anyway, backstage brawl, extreme rules, ladders, table, CLC, Hell in a Cell, steel cage, Iron Man, last man standing, no holds barred, 2v2, normal tornado tag, mixed gender tag is still there with the mixed match challenge arena with the in the Thunderdome as well. Extreme rules, steel cage, Hell in a Cell, table tag, ladder tag, TLC tag, triple threat, normal, extreme rules, ladders, table, CLC, Hell in a Cell, steel cage, and false count anywhere. Falls count, fatal four way is the same, except instead of falls count anyway, you have battle royale. That you've also got the match creator options as well. So I'd imagine there is still anything that was in 2K20 looks to be still in 2K22. Basically, that point. You still can have fatal four way tags in 8-man matches, ladder tags, four-way tornadoes, and stuff like that. So there is cool stuff in there. Do you feel reversals are repetitive from every gameplay we've seen so far? Everybody does the spin kick reversals. That spin kick reversal mark is from the grapple counter. So if they're trying to do a Irish whip, so B into B, because I've been using an Xbox controller, that's the if the reverse would be that's the spin kick counter that happens. That seems to be generic. It's a nice animation. I don't think we get bored on it because it puts the opponent in a down state as well. Yes, confirmed in previous video that 2K have sped up the food count. In the build that we played, the pinfall was still slow. However, they've confirmed that they've already rectified that, and on top of that, they have in cage matches, anything without the ref, and there was pinfalls and submissions. The pinfall speed was just the normal speed it has been in previous games. So I don't know how they missed it in the first place. It's definitely better than 2K20. Casey's asking. I definitely feel that this is a vast improvement on it. Is the Performance Center Raw and SmackDown in the game? The NXT Performance Center part is with the gates and stuff. I can't remember offhand. I have a list of arenas. 1 second. Let me find my list. I hope I have the list of arenas that were in the list. Because we weren't allowed to take any recordings, but I did take notes and stuff like that. So 1 second while I try and find it. I might not find this, but we'll figure it out. Got it. Right. Load up. So some of the arenas included 205 Live, Clash of Champions 2020, Elimination Chamber 2021. By the way, this is a work in progress build. Some things may change and everything like that. Hell in a Cell 2020, the Horror Show Extreme Rules, Main Event 21, Mixed Match Challenge, Money in the Bank 2021, NXT TakeOver 31, NXT TakeOver in Your House, NXT TakeOver 30, Stand and Deliver, NXT UK 2020 Arena, not the BT Arena, NXT Vengeance Day, Payback 2020, Raw in the Thunderdome, SmackDown in the Thunderdome. You have the SmackDown 2020 Arena, the SmackDown 2021 Arena, same for Raw 2020 and Raw 21. One was in Payback 2020. Starrcade 1996 is an unlockable arena. SummerSlam 1988, SummerSlam 2020, Survivor Series 2020, TLC 2020, WCW Monday Nitro, WrestleMania 37 and WrestleMania Backlash. Now, I need to stress this enough, because we didn't have access to the showcase. Any of the arenas that were in showcase were locked and we couldn't even see. So there's that side of things. So there's certainly more arenas in the game. And bear in mind, work in progress build, there could be even more arenas than that. Can we use music from Spotify? Probably not, Joe. They've not talked about it. I'm going to assume no. I don't know anything on the Creation Suite side of things because there wasn't access for us to play. How did the multi-man matches play? Still rolling out, camera zoomed out. It's kind of like the 1v1 camera. It's a little bit more to the right and zoomed out a bit more. Do not ask me about roster questions. I will not answer them full stop because the roster wasn't the full roster given to us and things will change, could change, etc, etc. Universe mode is in the game, but we didn't have access to it in the preview mode. How do multi-man matches play? Just like normal. Multi-man, the rollout mechanic's still in there, which is good. There doesn't seem to be a positive effect if you stay down longer that I could notice. But overall, people are getting up a bit too quick on it. Thank you for the donations, guys. I don't expect donations for this. I will try and get through as many questions as possible on this. How polished does the game feel compared to 2K20? There's definitely less bugs and glitches. I'm not supposed to really talk about bugs and glitches because it's a preview build. Things can be patched and everything like that. It definitely felt more polished to 2K20, that's for sure. How many paybacks can you select for a match this year? There's only one payback option. There's not a minor or a major. There's just one option. And if I remember rightly, let me just... I think I put a list. Yeah. So paybacks, we have Blackout, Comeback, Resiliency, Low Blow, Poison Mist, Power the Punch, Run In, and Move Feet. There could be other paybacks when it comes to it. But it depends on certain superstars and whether that's available. Again, we didn't have access to the creation suite, so we can't see all the abilities and stats and anything else on that. Is there a way to turn off money in GM mode? No, I think the whole point of it is that you have to use money to make money. I don't expect donations, guys. Seriously, you don't need to do it. Don't need to do it, honestly. Is that stupid bar when you get knocked still in? Do you mean knocked out of the ring, that bar? The bar's no longer there, but it's more that stun bar comes into play instead. So once you're completely removed of stun, then you're able to get up early, or you can stay on the mat if you so choose. Is the spinner WWE title in the game? I have championships. Yes, let's go through the championship list. 24/7 ECW Championship 08 to 10, 06 to 08, 94 to 01 ECW World Television Title, Hardcore Championship, Left Right Championship, $1 Million Championship, NXT Championships, the Championship from 12 to 17. The NXT Cruiserweight Championship, the NXT North America Championship, the NXT United Kingdom Championship, the Up Down Championship, the WCW Hardcore Championship, the Heavyweight Championship with the NWO thing, the Worldwide Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, the WWE title from present day 13-14, 88 to 98, 98-02, the Brahma Bull Championship, the Smoking Girl Championship, the Cruiserweight Championship from 01 to 07, the European Championship, the Intercontinental Championship present one, the one from 11 to 19, the one from 1990, the one from 94, the Light Heavyweight Championship, the Undisputed Championship, the United Kingdom Championship, the United States Championship, the United States Championship 03 to 20, the United States John Cena Championship, the WWE Universal Championship, that's the SmackDown frame, and the one that's the Raw frame, the red and blue, of course, the difference on that. NXT UK Women's Championship, the NXT Women's original title, and the one from 13-17, the one present day. The Raw Women's Champion, the SmackDown Women's Champion, Divas Championship, Women's Championship from 98 to 10. We've got the ECW World Tag, the NXT Tag Team, the NXT Old Tag Team belts, the NXT UK Tag Team belts, the WCW Tag Team titles, then the ones from 91-96. World Tag Team Championships from 97 to 02, and the ones from 02 to 10. The current Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships, the Tag Team Championships from 02 to 10, and the Tag Team Champions from 10 to 16. Right, lots. Is there stamina in the game? There is stamina in the game. It's slightly different compared to before, because it's not obviously on a HUD, but you'll get a small little blue circle appear above your head when you're about to run out of stamina. So when you run plenty of times, you're going to be able to access it. Does Dominic have raised moveset? Didn't get a chance to play with Dominic, because Dominic, I believe, is locked in the showcase mode from what a developer interview that Lionel Jinx did with us yesterday. I believe he is locked in showcase mode, so he would have to be unlocked through that, or by having deluxe editions and unlocking everything. Okay. Did not have access to be able to put blood on it if blood is still in the game. The option was not available for us to access at that time if it is still in the game. There is no new match types other than the Backstage Brawl Arena. The spinner title could still be in the game, Ishan, because it could be related to Ray in the showcase mode. That's just a list of all the belts that were available to us right now. There could be, because it's work in progress build and we didn't have access to everything, there could still be more belts out there. Because bear in mind, like I say, Dominic wasn't playable and he was locked away in showcase. So not a definitive final list on the titles or the arenas or anything like that. So take it with a pinch of salt at the moment. Can you change the camera back to the old one? I believe from a developer interview that Lionel did a while back, I think with Brandon, I think they said that you couldn't change the old camera angle. Legends unlockable via in-game VC again. Yes, Mark. There it is. Basically, play your matches in expedition mode, unlock VC, and use that VC to unlock characters, arenas, belts, etc. Yeah, because can you change coming back to the old one? Don't believe so. Yeah, the 24/7 championship. I think it's in the game. Yeah, it is. Sorry, the 24/7 championship. Missed it. It's the very first one. It is in there. 2K19 and 2K22 are two completely different games because of how they've done with the combo system and stuff. It remains to be seen if it's, in my head, it will ultimately depend for me as a online competitive player. I like to have fun online. We've not played online yet, so I can't comment on it. All that I can say is that the control scheme, I think, is more complicated than 2K19 from the time I got to play with it. I think it's very complicated to make 4 buttons plus to do a running finisher. It was the same case with 20 as well, bear in mind. and doing the carry grapples by initiating grapple. So you see this chain bit that R-Truth just did. You only get a very small window after you press the grapple button to do an extra button to do the grapple you want to do, or Irish whip, or whatever. If you don't do it in time, your opponent automatically counters, which is a problem. Any mention of next gen, old gen performance? We don't know. They're classing this as being. This was the PC build basically, so I've not seen PS5 or Xbox Series gameplay or anything like that, or played it on those modes. I was able to play it on my PC. Is there a random button for character select? Yes, there is, if I remember rightly. Again, thank you for the donation. I will answer all questions no matter what. Just if I've missed something out, it's not deliberate. There was just a lot of you chatting and asking questions. What was the first match you played, and is it more arcade or simulation? You can see with the gameplay here with Brock and R-Truth, it's that weird sort of hybrid of the two. It almost feels like it doesn't know what it wants to be. The combo system makes it feel like an arcade game, but you still have the simulation aspects if you ignore those combos. So it's a bit weird. And I actually can't remember what was the first match I played, but I think I went straight into the brawl. I think I did Roman versus Seth. I think I did. Did I? I can't remember. I was definitely Roman anyway. Put it that way. Does the PC graphics look like next gen? I don't know, because I haven't got anything to compare it when it comes to it. Is there no mid-card attack champions in MyGM? You're correct, Sean. They have confirmed that there is only 2 titles in MyGM mode, and that is the main singles title for both men and females. There is no tag titles or mid-card belts. And you can only have 3 matches per show, or 4 on a premium event like a pay-per-view in MyGM as well. We're waiting to see if we can get confirmation on if any additional match types can be used in MyGM, because at the minute it's just 1v1 and tag from the build we played with tables, Extreme Rules, TLC, and Hell in a Cell, as well as normal match. I can't remember if there was anything else. We don't know what Universe is like. That was completely locked off for us, so we have no idea. What can you do in Backstage Brawl? It's pretty similar to what Brawl, it felt like anyway, to what Brawl has been in the past few years, where it's KO only, but it's a sort of one big horizontal plane where the middle section has multiple levels. There's a parking lot, and then there's sort of an interview area on the left hand side. The best bit is the middle section by far, because you can break the panels off and throw people off a high distance. My mic is scratchy. No, that's just my voice, Animal. It's just my voice. Is chain wrestling in? I didn't get to see chain wrestling in action, Brandon. That's not to say it's not in, but I did not see it when I played it, and I did have quite a few matches. It's not on this list anyway, Mark. There's no eco-friendly championship. That's not to say, again, that it's not going to be in the final build. Do not ask roster questions, because I do not know the answers, because it is not the final build of the game. Are you allowed to comment on how significant the NXT UK present is? I mean, I didn't really pay much attention to the NXT UK present, Osmo, to be honest. Although I did use NXT UK for my GM. Dre, again, you don't need to donate to me, guys. Honestly, are these reports about Bray, John Mouse, and Trill Bedden being out of the game? And do entries like have CGI features like on WWE TV? I don't know. As I literally just said about rosters, I don't know, because the roster isn't finalised on this build. Things were not in that are meant to be in, and that's because of Showcase. So I don't know who won't be in the game. We'll just have to wait until the final game is out. Overhaul tag team mechanics. I would say no, because of this initial grapple system. Your partner will have to grapple in a very short space of time now. Otherwise, you'll get with your opponent will reverse the initial grapple. I did do a grapple from the standing position, and it felt normal. Whether there's new moves, don't know about move animations or anything like that because the game didn't give us access to Creation Suite. Overhauled. What else about tag team mechanics? I don't think there was a hot tag situation here. Certainly, if there was a hot tag situation, it certainly was like a quicker way of getting to the tag compared to the slow, methodical thing that it was before. I don't know about removing the red halo. You can remove all the HUDs, the health bar, and everything like that, like you could in previous games. Whether that includes the red bar, I honestly didn't look at the time. To be honest, I wasn't paying attention. So, and because we weren't, you didn't answer about the CGI entrances. What do you mean by CGI entrances? Entrances. I don't understand CGI features when you mean for like on WWE TV. Oh, I get you. The sort of the augmented reality entrances and stuff. I didn't turn entrances on enough to notice if there were any. I didn't see enough entrances to confirm or deny it, to be honest. I don't think I saw any, to be honest, but that's not to say they're not in the game. The gameplay feels smooth. It feels a little bit chaotic with multi-man matches and stuff. I tried keyboard controls on the PC with the tutorial with Drew Gulak because that's what I had to use, the keyboard at the time, not the controller. Uses ASDW and grapple system, I think is JKL and stuff. It's keyboard, I mean, it's not great. Can you call your tag partner in now? I thought that. Oh yeah, because it was the calling tag partners was in the game before. I only did one proper tag team match, and that was a mixed match challenge. So I don't know the answer to that actually. Yeah, augmented reality entrances. Yeah, not CGI. I was right. I knew about it. I don't know, but when it comes to rosters, do not ask me those questions because I won't know the answers for definite. And I'm not going to even put myself out there on this. So please don't ask about a particular superstar or a roster unless they've already been announced by 2K themselves, okay? Only 2 titles in GM mode yet. Depending what brand you are, it is the main title. So if it's NXT UK, it's the United Kingdom Championships, both male and female. NXT Championships, the Universal Championship and the Women's Championship, or the WWE Championship and the Women's Championship. Are Rumble entrances back in? I did do a 30-man Rumble. The camera is still the same facing point, so you don't really get to see the entrances. It's not the perspective of looking at the entrance like the SVR days. Can you use the ring bell as a weapon? I miss it. I didn't see it. I didn't look for it either, though. I didn't go into that bottom corner at the time. Can you put tables anywhere? Anywhere? Yes, you can put them anywhere. Problem is with the tables, at least with this build, and it could just have been a bug, an issue, it could be a new ability or whatever. The tables can't be stacked. The chairs I couldn't use for a concerto or a Pillmanizer, and I couldn't do the steel step powerbomb either. But these could be like new abilities that only certain superstars could do. I don't know the answer to the question on that. I just didn't have access to be able to play that. If I had access to the Creation Suite, I would have been able to get in to the inner workings and see the movesets and how all that is orchestrated. Is Block, Truth, and Finn Roman the only gameplay? In terms of the matches, yes, last Endbender. The other than the MyGM stuff as well. Will OGM be like 2K20? I mean, the gameplay is going to be like this no matter what version it is, whether it's PC, PS4, or PS5. If you don't need to spam the question though, DT. I've said. Is the camera angle the same for multi-man matches? It's similar. It is similar, but it's not identical. It's not like the old way. Is Stars feels different or still is Superstars feeling different or still the same, different gameplay, different skins? As far as I could see, again, this could be to do with showcase mode or other ways of unlocking stuff. I didn't see multiple attires for anyone. So it could be one attire per person. But again, didn't have access to the creation suite, so I can't go further into that one. Does the weapon physics feel more dynamic and less scripted? Well, the animation certainly for the weapons for the strikes, I don't think have really been changed, although the noise did sound a bit better. Tables break obviously a bit better. We've seen that through gameplay before. And being not restricted about where to put the tables and ladders certainly does help. And the ladder climbing, for instance, is a bit more forgiving. You don't have to be dead center in the middle to be able to reach for the title, although it might take a while before you're able to grab the briefcase or title anyway. No, besides controls, is it better than 2K20? For control system, you see, this is the thing. It's like 2K20 in the control scheme. Some of it is too complicated. They need to stream it and slim it down, in all honesty. Some people may disagree with me on that, but I think it's way too complicated. Can you fight in the crowd, and has it been changed? I didn't even get to think about fighting in the crowd, Viper. I completely forgot about checking that. Completely forgot. Honestly, completely forgot about it. See if there was even an option. That's my bad. That's something basic that I should have found out. How good is selling in the game? Does it feel like they stay down or get up right away? They seem to be getting up quicker in multi-man type games. They do get up quicker right at the beginning of the matches when you do moves. It's kind of like the WE12 style. But it's a little bit slower. It's not like, oh, I'm instantly getting up after this suplex. There is a little bit of fatigue involved in that. How about new moves? I don't know all the new moves, Buzzkill, because we didn't get access to the creation suite. There was definitely some great new animations though. And I do have, this is the thing, I do have a list of signatures and finishers for some of the characters. I'm just trying to see if there's anything. Problem is, I haven't played the creation suite in so long properly that I can't remember which animations would be brand new and which are old, to be honest. Will you be playing as Adam, Sonia, or the McMahons, or create your own GM? I probably won't create my own GM, Dyson, because I've already did a 15-week one and I felt bored by the end of it. Unless more stuff gets added to it, I don't think it's that. It's quite shallow, in all honesty. The camera angle you see, never mind, is this camera angle. It's just a little bit more zoomed up and diagonal to the right a bit. No new match types other than the brawl. Did you check if live targeting is still in? Yeah, that's another thing. Should have checked. Completely. Because there's so many different extra buttons and stuff, limb targeting may not be in the game anymore. I don't know. It could still be in the game. Because I know the snapmare and the leverage pins are still in the game. I'm sure the snapmare is still in the game. The leverage pin is definitely, because I remember doing it. Snapmare, I'm pretty sure, is still in there too. I just don't remember checking about limb targeting. How the championships look on Superstars? Any difference from previous games? I'm not an aesthetic type person. So they probably will be looking better compared to the previous incarnation. Did you try AA versus AI? Any improvements in the computer? Certainly in the big, I did spectator match in MyGM mode, and being able to change the camera angles in that was awesome. It doesn't look like there's been any matches removed. I don't think there's a cap, never mind, but your problem is you're restricted with MyGM on your budget. One, for your budget, and two, obviously you only have 3 matches a week to use, so there's only so many superstars you'll be able to functionally put out each week. Farouk, is really the APA tie-up? Don't know, never got a chance to look at him. He was an unlockable, I can say. You have to use VC for him, and I didn't unlock him. Don't know about other people, so don't ask me questions about roster in general. I really need to get a drink in a second. Does Liv Morgan do a proper Oblivion off the rope? I don't know about roster stuff. I didn't play with every single superstar. I don't know that sort of thing. Thoughts on My Rise in Universe mode. Didn't get access to My Rise in Universe mode. So we were restricted to MyGM and the Expedition modes. Any new weapons? There's the hockey stick, but I think it just plays out like a kendo stick. It'll be more aesthetic on it. We saw the stop sign in the showcase mode. I didn't see a stop sign in Brawl. Universe did not get access to it full stop, so don't know. Do not ask me about Universe mode. I do not know or My Rise or showcase mode. They were not accessible for us to play. Does every superstar feel different or more like the same? Good question on that. I think it goes with what type of class they are more than anything. All the cruisers probably feel the same. And it also will depend on what moveset they have, because some people's movesets are just naturally better than others. What's some of the superstars I played as? I played with quite a lot and faced a lot of them. Match types. Is there an I Quit match? There is Last Man Standing, but there wasn't an I Quit match. Last Man Standing would be the same sort of thing, to be honest. Did you get an early copy of the full version? No, we did not get an early copy of the full version. It was a work in progress build, and we don't have access to it now. I think the controls personally are too complicated. They're saying by having the combo element is meant to make it more pick up and play, just for like the casual player. But you still want to do the more advanced stuff as well. I think it's problematic. Are strikes too easy to reverse? This is the kicker. The first strike has to be reversed by the Y button. The ones after it, if it's in a combo, have to be pressed by the button that the opponent presses. So if they do a light strike, you need to still do a light strike. If you do a heavy strike, they do a heavy strike. My issue with that is, unless you know the opponent's superstar, off by heart, you don't know what animation is a quick one and which is a strong one, realistically, because you could have, in the strong button option, a light strike. So I think that's the complicated part of it. If you don't get the combo on the first button, you're going to struggle to probably reverse on the other options. I think the reverse window is much easier compared to 2K20. I think it's more forgiving. Some of the reversal animations are awesome, especially in the mid-move reversal situation with certain ground grapples. Is the main menu the same as 20? It's a bit cleaner, to be honest. The menu we saw, but it might not be the final menu. It was very clean and crisp. I don't know about released wrestlers. Don't ask me that question. I will not answer it. Do they have special referee? Special referee was not available as one of the match type options. Whether it's in the game or not, I do not know. I honestly don't know. Probably not, to be honest. I think we would have had an option to play it if it was in the game at this point, but we could be surprised by it. I would love it to be in the game, to be honest, because the default is the button bashing. It would make sense to have it back in the game, but I don't think. The pin system in button bash, I hate it. I really hate it. The old pin, there was nothing wrong with the pin system for the default. What's my opinion on 2K Showcase? I mean, we didn't get access to playing 2K Showcase, so I can't comment on it. All I can go with is the gameplay that we saw before. There's a small detail, but do you know if taking the straps down is a thing again after being removed from 2K20? I didn't see any superstars take down the straps, but that's not to say it's not in the game, Mark. Will bonus ticket be available on the season pass if I buy it apart in post-launch? I don't know that answer, Rudy, to be honest. The menu screen was fine. It was fine looking. There's not much to talk about. It's a menu screen. You just tap a few buttons and stuff. Is the pin system still buggy? Do you mean that is it still too slow? The build that we played was too slow, but they've said they've already corrected it. We did not play MyFaction. MyFaction was not available for us to play. Jason, there's people messaging a lot, okay? There's a lot of people asking. So don't ask me on it. Because there's a lot of people asking questions. I'm going to miss it, and I'm not looking at the screen at all at the same time either. Well, maybe the new pin system will benefit online. Button bashing, yeah, but the pin system online for 19 and 20 was local anyway. So I don't understand the button bashing. Yeah, pin counts are definitely faster, but we didn't get to see it in action. I don't think it was that laggy, to be honest. Online, but online is a little bit slower anyway to account for stability. There is my rise, but we didn't get to play it. Steel steps, do they come apart when you throw someone into it? So when I did normal whips into the steps, it kept the steps on. I had to pick them up manually. I didn't do a strong Irish whip into the steps, so I don't know if that would knock the steps over. I think they would just fall over like they normally do. I don't think they changed the animations on it. Don't know about game balancing sliders because of being only restricted to the Expedition and the MyGM modes. Are there any moves in the game that are oversold? I mean, any big powerhouse guy, I mean, you feel like is a bit oversold move. I don't understand the question on that, Anti-Smart. I don't think there's anything super fast or super sped up like 2K20 had with their DLC. Where are paybacks? Because I only saw signatures. The paybacks are using that signature bar as well, but there's only restricted paybacks. They're basically the level 2 paybacks. There's no level 1 paybacks anymore. Weapon mechanical, is it the same as 2011? There's still a weapon wheel underneath the ring, and you can assign weapons to your wrestler depending on what you want. Did you play as any women? I did have some female matches, but I can't remember who played. I think I used Trish. I'm just looking at the list right now. I'm pretty much sure I used Trish. I saw Sonya. Oh, I was Kaylee Ray because Scottish represents. And she had in the build. Did she have the NXT UK Championship in the build we were in? I can't remember. I think she had a title anyway in that build. She probably won't have the title in the final build, of course, since she's in the NXT roster now, not NXT UK. But it's cool to play as a Scottish wrestler. That's for sure. I could hear I don't pay attention to the soundtracks. I could hear the Booker T from Bad Bunny in the menus. What are your thoughts on having the lockup before Irish Whip? Does it ruin the flow? Do you get used to it? I think... this is the thing. I feel like it slows down the flow a little bit. Especially if you do a back grapple to then go to the Irish Whip. There's a unique sort of... almost like a punch elbow then to do the whip. I feel like they could have just made it as a just general button, personally. I feel like the extra step probably wasn't necessary. There's no war games in the game that we're aware of. There certainly wasn't that mode when we were playing it. There's nothing been taken out, but there wasn't really anything added into it either. Ladder minigame is the same as last year. Yes, it is. Does Mandy Rose have brown or blonde hair? She has her WrestleMania attire that she had with Dana Brooke. She has that attire, the pink attire. So it's not NXT Mandy. I mean, the roster looked fine to me, Ace, but the thing is, the roster could be completely different when we get the final build. So that's why, unless they're confirmed by 2K, I'm not going to talk about any characters because I don't know what's in and what's not. Did they remove the muscle flex system for superstars in the game? I don't see them flexing and they look stiff. Muscle flex system clips? Can you explain that in more detail? Does the characters feel like what they would feel like? I didn't feel any sort of uniqueness with anyone as such. Any cutscenes in GM mode? Not cutscenes per se, it's mostly just text. There is a starting video at the beginning and then there's a video at the very end as well. But there's no cutscenes as such. What's my favorite arena? I would probably go for one of the performance center arenas. I love the sort of having the metal frame around the barricades. But it seems it only says signature when the special bar is filled. So how do you do it? Paybacks. Well, the bars have to be filled. It might be only 2 bars. It may be depending on the payback how many bars you need filled to be able to activate the payback. And then you don't. It just activates when you want to do it. So if you want to do low below, you don't have to have. It's not time based. I don't think. It's just here's the option available. It tells you what buttons to press. You go do it. Are there entrances or victories and online mode? We don't know about online mode because it wasn't available for do. Is the carry system still in the game? Yes, it is, because the carry system, I got to play in the Backstage Brawl, in the new Brawl Arena, and I was able to chuck someone off from a very high height. There was no new match types that I could see, Byron. That's not to say there isn't going to be any in the final game, just there wasn't in this build. We didn't have access to Creation Suite, so I can't help you on that. We did not use the console for preview build, we used the PC build of it. Do they smack the plexiglass in the NXT arena? Oh, that's a good question. I didn't pay attention to that. I notice sometimes a little square pops up near the names at the bottom. Are those the paybacks? So, if the little square is just above their names, if it's in blue, that's a taunt. If it's in red, that's an injured body part. I don't think there's anything else that pops up in that respect. Again, if you're going to ask me about particular attires and stuff, I only remember a certain amount of different attires. Austin Theory's, I don't know, because I wasn't paying attention to Austin Theory. Did you throw people off the thing in Backstage? Yes, I throwed people off the top part. I've done a video, if you want to check out the brawl thing. I've slowed down footage that we've seen in the Backstage area before, so you can get an understanding of where I through people. And you can move the tables in Backstage Brawl as well. It's just a shame it's 1v1 and there is no aspects to change it for more than a 1v1 match, which is very, very disappointing, I have to say. And we've made that known to 2K. Again, when it comes to entrances, didn't see many entrances, so for the most part, do not ask me about that, because we only got limited time playing the game. So I don't know everything. If there's any other creators that were able to play the build that can answer the questions, I would love for them to chip in if they're watching. Any new ladder or Hell in a Cell animations? Not that I could see. Now, this is where I get foggy. The diving animation for the Hell in a Cell from the top to the cell to the floor for 2K22 was like the Shane McMahon elbow. Was that still in the game? Was that in the game in 2K20? Because I honestly can't remember. Because all I remember about Hell in a Cell diving is like the old-fashioned leg drop from the WWE 12 2K14 days. So you're saying I can kill wrestlers? You can't kill wrestlers; they'll get knocked out, and may not even get knocked out. But you can move a table and put it there to make it a little less situational and death-defying. And highlight reel from what we played are 27 seconds long from the PC build. That could be different on consoles. But it was a much added rendition to see it being that length of time. So what limits did 2K give you guys? It was Expedition mode and MyGM mode. There is new move animations, but we didn't have access to see every single one because Creation Suite was not available. All I know is with the 2K22 Hell in a Cell, you couldn't remove the announce table bits. You could just throw them off the top into the table. There's no new or old match types in the game that we saw in the build. The menus are nice and clean and crisp. It's certainly not like 2K19's eye blitzing, burn your eyes out menus. It's very clean, very 4K. How much freedom can you do backstage? Well, it's set into like a horizontal plane. You've got like a parking lot bit. You've got the big multi-level bit in the middle. And then there's an interview bit on the left-hand side. If you spam, I will just do little bits of this as well. I can people off. I can mute. I don't know if it's been asked, but can you still do limb targeting? This is one thing I stupidly forgot to check. I feel like if it's in there, it's certainly a different button. Okay. There is WrestleMania Arena. I hope limb targeting's still in. The snapmare and the leverage pin's definitely in. I'm pretty sure the snapmare's still in. Don't quote me on that. But I think it's still in. The fact that those two are still in, you still think limb targeting is still in the game. But because I didn't have access to the creation suite, and this is the key thing, I couldn't see the abilities, the types, the paybacks, the signature finisher positions, or anything like that, or the different clutches. I need to see that to know that for certain. Has Royal Rumble been updated? Not really. It's still button bashing, or use a finisher to get out. Do we still see fatigued finishers? I don't know, Ishan, but I would assume that because there's still stamina in the game, if you ran out of stamina and performed someone that has a tired finisher, I would hope it would still work. But there's no guarantee that it would or not. I never got a chance to try it. That's something I really should have tried. And if I get enough opportunity, I will be trying it. I can't... about release superstars, I didn't see the full superstar list, so I don't know. The menu is clean. It's crisp. It's very clean and crisp. There's not much to talk about the menu because it's very clean. Didn't go in the crowd, but I didn't attempt to try looking in the crowd either. Is Royal Rumble 2020 in the game? Oh, you mean so it's like the diagonal entrance and stuff like that? When it comes to the arena, let me look up. I think it's just Royal Rumble 2021. Yeah, there could be a 2020 arena. I don't think they'll have the diagonal arenas and stuff like that. I think it's too complicated, to be honest. It'd be a nice thing to have, but I doubt it. Any new finishers for the women? I mean, we know there's new females in the game, like Kaylee Ray. So, but in terms of moves and stuff, I need to see the creation suite. And didn't get hold on to it. I didn't listen to the soundtrack, to be honest. I just know Bad Bunny's Booker T was in there. Can you interrupt moves in multi-man matches? Sort of like you can in 2K20, you can break up most moves. There's certain things that, like pin combinations, when they're in the pin, it's not really a breakup as such. It just becomes the pin stops sort of thing. That's certainly something that needs to be improved with, is that every move that, even in pins, if they get hit in the back of the head while they're pinning someone, they should react to it. That doesn't happen here. Is there options for alternative submissions to button bashing? They said for the pins. I don't know about the submissions, if you're still able to use the wheel or not. A stamina bar is not a stamina bar anymore, Tayboy. It is a wheel that will pop up when you run out of start to run out of stamina. Stamina. Why does the square of a taunt show up? Can we only taunt when it says? No, that taunt, when you've fully done a taunt, that blue square will give you like a little boost, and those taunts can actually stack. You can actually have two of those taunts pop up. You can have two blue bars for a select 2 at a time. Is the character a select, grid, or list style? Ooh. It's list style, I think. It's silly because I'm not thinking it. No, it's list style. It's like 19 and 20. I'm pretty sure. I'm doubting my own thing here. With comebacks and resiliency having to choose only one payback, do you see this being a problem? I think having resiliency was always a problem to have an instant kick out. I've always been in that frame of mind anyway. Did he add any finishers into finisher reversals? Not that I'm aware of. There could be, potentially, but I don't think there's at the moment, unless we could have, everyone could have missed something. I would love there to be finisher to finisher reversals, but I think if you just reverse, it's not going to do anything special, unless they've added it as a nice Easter egg. What about blood? We didn't have any access to blood because if there is that option, it would have been in the settings, and we didn't have access to those settings. Universe mode was locked, so was creation suite and the major settings. Can you explain combos? Does that mean you need 3 buttons to do a suplex? No, Q3. So you can press the B button, which is the grapple button, and then you can then do a light grapple or strong grapple while in that grapple chain, which could lead you into suplexes and stuff. There will be certain moves by pressing various strikes and grapples as a combination where you can access a particular move straight off the bat, providing your opponent hasn't reversed it. Is Create a Championship and Arena in the game? Don't know, Connor, because we didn't have access to the creation suite. And Pro Wrestling guys just sent a donation. Again, you don't need to send me donations, guys. Honestly, thank you very, very much. Not obligatory in the slightest. Creation Suite was locked for us in this preview build, so we didn't have access to the full game. Oh, pardon me. Pardon me. Where are you ranking 2K20 amongst the other 2K games? I've not had enough to put my fingers on it. It is certainly ranking up higher than 2K20, that's for sure. What do table breaks look like? I mean, we've seen animations of that in the ringside report of the table breaking, so, and in a couple of trailers. It looks better. It's the same animations to put them through it, mind you. But being able to have it no longer fixed to a particular sort of safe zone you can freely move the table about is a lot better. No new match types that we could see other than the Backstage world being a new arena. We did not get to see the whole roster, Aaron, because I know certain superstars were locked in showcase mode, and potentially could be other modes as well. So don't know the full roster, which is why I don't like answering questions about the roster, because I don't know what the full roster is. I'm assuming the gameplay being sped up was video editing and not in the game itself. With regards to what, never mind. What characters did you play with, and who was your favourite other ones you played with? So, I did play with quite a few wrestlers, that has to be said. This is the thing, it's... Because of the new move scheme and stuff, it was just... I like using Brock, there was no question about that. I like using Mandy Rose because the running knee is such a quick finisher. I was able with Mandy to use her knee finisher 3 times in a row, and the stun bar was still up by the time I hit the third one. It was fun. And you can still set, because I haven't talked about this yet, no one's asked this question, you can still set at the beginning of the, in the match creator bit. You can start with 3 finishes, you can start with high health, low health, etc. and set the speed on how quick it is to get signatures and finishes as well. Does the superstar start moving slowly as the match goes on? Certainly to climb ladders and stuff like you did before. They do get up longer, but it's probably not as long as it should be. People were complaining about the moves looking like creative finisher moves. I didn't see anything with finishers being sped up or anything like that. I didn't watch the rating reveal, so I can't comment on it. Does the ring feel small, or is it just the camera that makes it look smaller? Yeah, this is the thing I still haven't debated. I think the ring is probably still the same size. It's just the camera angle makes it look smaller. Is there one option to change the controller settings? Certainly on PC, depending on what controller you use, you can obviously switch between an Xbox controller, PlayStation, or the keyboard. I don't know. We didn't have access to the settings to be able to change control schemes if that is an option. So, didn't have access to the settings. Taunting fills up our special finisher bar more. I feel like it'd be like the crowd and opponent taunts. See, I didn't look at it because, again, we didn't have access to the creation suite. I couldn't read up on a lot of that stuff. So, I would assume it's like before, where one will do more damage to the opponent when you taunt, and one will build up the bar up a lot more. Can you still brawl in the area outside of the ring? You mean the area in the corner? I forgot to frickin' check. My bad. I honestly forgot to check to see if you could even go over the barricade. That's my fault. I didn't check it. I noticed Roman Reigns is missing his back tattoo. Was that the case for you? So, they've 2K have commented on it and saying for Roman that the model for him is a work in progress and not necessarily the final model. So whether the back tattoo still will appear in the game or not, I don't know. I mean, the game's coming out in 3 weeks' time, so with roster questions, even though I can't answer pretty much most of it, if this person is in or not, because I don't know, we'll know soon enough. How close is the Thunderdome to it in real life? I mean, the Thunderdome looked good. I've seen video expressions of people's faces. It was a nice thing. It was a nice thing. Mandy was her WrestleMania attire that she had with Dana Brooke. You know, the one where... Was it her that slipped, or was it Dana that slipped? It was that attire anyway. It was a nice. It's a great attire actually. Didn't get a chance to play Universe Mode, Jake. We only had access to Expedition and MyGM. Did you play any multi-man matches? Yes, I played 8-man. I played Elimination Chamber. You're able to still change the Hell in a Cell, including to the 2K20 DLC's Hell in a Cell look as well. So it could be red, black, or the... Is it Scrap Trap? And I think Steel Cage, again, you can have the black, blue bars and stuff as well. I don't know what I can tell you, Phenomenal. This just said the model is work in progress. That was all. Are pullback attacks still in? Yes, I think if I remember rightly, I did do a pullback attack from the Irish Whip. If I have my signature and finisher bar both fill, can I toggle to pick what I want to do? You don't toggle because you're using two different buttons. Is it RT and X for signature and RT and A for the finisher? So you're not toggling. Yes, the multi-man matches still have the rollout feature. So all the 2K DLC arenas are in the game. This game, we don't know, Christian. The list that I put out didn't show any of the 2K20 DLC arenas. They could still be in the game, but not on the list that we were given. Draken, I'm going to put you on timeout because I can't ask the questions that I don't know. How does the Irish Whip feel in the game? Does it ruin the flow? I feel like it ruins the flow a little bit. It's not as smooth as it was in previous titles. How old is the gameplay? Well, this gameplay, I don't know how old this particular gameplay is, because I didn't record it. I think the combos aren't necessary for the game, to be honest, Joel. That's one mechanic that I don't like. I don't think it's necessary. I think it makes it annoying. We didn't have access to Blood TOS because we didn't have access to the setting menu, so if Blood is still in the game, we weren't able to use it. Did you see alternate attires on any superstars I played? I didn't see an option on any of the superstars I used. That's not the case that they may not have alternate attires, of course. Do you know if auto pin that kick out is still in? Like in 1920, he was using D-pad while pinning for the kick out animations automatically. I know you can cancel pin, but do you know? NWF, I didn't check. Unfortunately, that would be something else I would check in the future if I get another opportunity. Do broken tables still vanish? I didn't pay attention to vanishing tables and stuff, unfortunately. They just break up easier. Does this game remind you of any old WWE games? I mean, it's kind of a weird question because obviously the engine is still very much 19 and 20 in style. It's definitely not like the older games, that's for sure. Well, because of COVID, never mind. I can't see being invited anywhere, to be honest. To be honest, not this year anyway. I mean, maybe we will, but I can't see it. So you said when we start running out of stamina, a circle pops up. Yep, a blue circle, and it will start to kind of like the old pinball. The blue will disappear as you run out of stamina. I haven't played enough, Bruce, to give a proper rating on it, but it's better than 20. I have a question. Say I never get good at the combos. Can I still beat people online? I was learning combos kind of a mess. No, because some of the combos are just pressing X 4 times, for instance. And the combos are just an added thing. You can still go for the full grapple experience. That's why I find the combo system a bit silly, to be honest, because it's not a fighting game. The combos are... It's not like Attitude. It's not as complicated as WWF Attitude or WWF Warzone, of course, but I didn't see the point. No access to the showcase. Do you find the gameplay is going to get old quickly or will definitely carry us over to the next game? Well, providing there's not 2 years between the games, Brandon. Yard, can you turn off the power cards in GM mode? No, I think power cards are a necessity of the game, just like the money is. There is still stamina, Eamon, yes. What other women did I play as? Oh, you see, this is the thing. I don't, because I only had limited time. Ooh, did I? I think I used China. I'm just scrolling through my superstar list. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used China. Is there a menu in the game showing us all the different ways to execute combos? Yes. If you pause the menu, you can then go into the moveset and it shows you all the combos for each superstar, and each superstar does have different combos. The dodging and blocking is unnecessary. I agree, Orion. They have the old SVR sort of, forward roll dodging for cruiserweights. I feel like it's it's unnecessary. Rate GM mode out of 10. So GM mode is not at the point I think it needs to be. Now, whether the build that we've got to play is anything like the final version, I don't know, but I would love to see more moves and stuff. Match types, more importantly, because it needs that. Because having just 1v1 in tags is a issue. We're waiting to hear back from 2K on that question to see if it is just 1v1 and 2 tag. Do you think people who play No Mercy have fun playing this game? I mean, No Mercy is a very different game to this. But No Mercy does have that you have to initiate a grapple to then do another grapple. So in that respect, you'll feel similarities in it. Sammy, what's your question? Do you know how many messages I'm getting? Do you know how many messages I'm getting? Is the US title in GM mode? No, it's not, Bob, because it's only just a major title. So the major men's title and the major female title. I think you just wanted to be noticed, Sammy. Is match pacing an option again this year? Do you notice any differences? Didn't see squash matches. Can you dodge grapples? I don't know if you can dodge grapples or if it's just relating to strikes. Again, don't ask me roster questions. Can't answer them because I don't know the full roster. How replayable is GM mode? Or will it get old fast? That is the $64,000 question part 2, Andrew. And I would say I don't think it's replayable. I think it's very repetitive in the stats that it is in from what we played. I want more options available for it to make it more versatile. It might be more playability if you were playing with a friend. I was playing against the AI, but it didn't feel like it was. It felt very repetitive, even in doing a 15-week thing. Match pacing, there was definitely no squash matches that I could see. That's not to say they're not in the game, of course. There was something else I need to say before I lose my point. Is the ring breakable in 2K22? I did do the OMG Superplex to break the ring, and it was an instant win as normal. Are matches like Money in the Bank and Royal Rumble are automatically set because we have limited stipulations? I think it's the same stipulations as what you would get. It's like the old it's like the previous titles. I don't think there's if Match Creator allows you to have those certain options, those options are probably still in the game. I can't 100% confirm that because I didn't have a nice comparison to compare with 2K20 or 19 with 2K22's match options, but I can't see them increasing the options on those ones. Is there a cap on how many tables and ladders to bring in including rules and TLC matches? I think there will be a limit, but I think you can get certainly more than 2 or 3 tables, that's for sure. Any new OMG moments? Not that we could see, but we didn't have access to the Move Creator, Move Creator. I mean Creation Suite. There isn't a Move Creator. Let me nip that in the bud. They've already said there's no Move Creator. Creation Suite, we didn't have access to it. JBB, because you donated, don't need to donate. I expressly keep saying this. I knew this whole big gameplay changes crap they've been trying to advertise was going to get exposed. They're saying they built it from the ground up, and they have from what they said, but it's still using the animations that were in previous years' titles and stuff. It still feels very much like it's been a previous 2K game. Goldberg's entrance looked awesome, just like it was in the trailer. Can you tell us if there are any new venues in Create Arena? We didn't get access to Creation Suite, so I don't know what's in any of the Creation Suites. Do you think the countdown is still slow? So for the pins, they've fixed it, so don't worry about that. Can you explain breakers? So for grapples and combos, I need to press the same button as my opponent to reverse it, right? Yes. And I have to guess what they will press. Yes. The first button in a combo, you can just get away with just pressing the Y button. After that, then if it's a combo they're doing, to break it, you need to press the combination button. I think it's complicated. I don't see why that needed to be. But if they made it just the Y button for every single strike, it would have been very easy to reverse. And to be honest, the counter timer seems to be a bit more lenient this time. What do you expect for tomorrow's IGM when it comes to 2K? I think they've advertised that they're going to show off Showcase, aren't they? I don't know what they're going to show off. I saw a news report that someone posted, I think, saying that IGN said they're going to show an exclusive thing of Showcase. How was My Rise and Isabel in previous My Quiz? Didn't have access to My Rise, so can't tell you. Is the camera zoomed out for multi-man matches? It is slightly more zoomed out, Eamon, yes. Can you change the pay-per-view schedule around? Not for GM mode, you can't. Didn't have access to Universe mode or anything, so can't comment on that. If it's like the easiest difficulty in GM mode, do you get more money in the draft? Don't know Q3 on that. I played it on hard mode and I still won quite easily in the 15 weeks. Did you find the movesets for all the wrestlers need serious editing? Again, because not having access to the creation suite, I couldn't finally tune myself into it. There was, I've got a list here, 1 second. I did take notes of certain signatures and finishes. Let me have a look. So like Carmella has Code of Silence as a signature, and it's the super kicks as finishers. Which is a bit weird. I'm just going through my list just to see. Goldberg Spear for signature, Jackhammer for finisher. There's someone that I thought was a bit off. It might have been. Oh, it was China. So China in this build had handspring back elbow and a powerbomb as a finisher. Powerbomb as a signature. It was a pedigree for a finisher, but her alternate finisher was an avalanche pedigree. Did she do an avalanche pedigree? Because that's something that would be really in my mind. If she has, I need to look at the footage. It just was odd to have that as an alternate finisher. I'm new to WWE. Do I need to watch both SmackDown and Raw, or can I only watch Raw? If you're new to WWE, I mean, watching one brand is fine, to be honest. How smart is the AI? I found it after playing it. The AI is still very susceptible, and you know what they're going to do more and more. But we were only playing on normal difficulty. We couldn't adjust the difficulty on it in terms of the actual gameplay. When you roll as a cruiserweight, can you string that roll into a springboard or a strike, kind of like Austin Theory's dropkick? The roll is for a dodge. I don't know how seamless that would be to then combo into a springboard, to be honest. As far as we know, there's no new game modes. I don't believe you can have custom music. Again, didn't have access to the creation suite, so can't comment on that really. Is it true we can freely walk on the announce table again and not limited to scripted moves? The announce table, to my knowledge, and again I could be wrong on this, removing the apparatus off the announce table is a different animation because it's the cheap monitors. It's a lot quicker to remove the stuff off the table. I did an OMG moment on the table and it felt very much like before, but I never tried to jump onto the table. So whether you can climb onto the table when it's pulled apart, I can't say for certain. I feel like I would have been able to do it and I would have tried it if I saw the option. But the old thing's still there. Can we dodge combos? I feel like once you get hit in the first part of the combo turbo, you wouldn't be able to dodge or anything like that. Does the AI follow you up the Hell in a Cell? Now, the AI, when that cell is broken in multi-man matches, they will go up the cell on their own accord, which is awesome. There is no 10-man matches. 8-man is the most. So you got 8-man tags and 8 people in the ring for Royal Rumble. Anything about the new Backstage arena? Yes, so I made a video on it. You can go check it out on the channel. Basically, we've seen footage from some trailers of it before, of the Backstage area. It's horizontal perspective, and there's 3 sort of major areas. The middle area, the best area. There's almost like a raw underground sort of pile of boxes that makes itself like a mini ring with no ropes, which looks cool. Which version of the game did you play? An early build or final build? We played the work in progress build. I do not know how old it is. It certainly wasn't the final build. Is it hard to beat the AI? Once you get used to the control scheme, no. I would say it's fairly straightforward, to be honest. Will they add mid-card championships in GM mode soon? No. That is a no. They've confirmed in a interview that because of the architecture of GM mode, that will not happen. Can we fall off the top of the Hell Cell as an invisible wall? You can fall off the top, but it's a soft wall, as in you'll need to be hit with strikes, etc. Like in previous games. You can't just walk off. Just like before, basically. Oh, hello, little Will. Do the combos give you Street Fighter vibes? No, because Street Fighter vibes imply that you then have the quarter turns and stuff. This is just pressing... This is more like Battlegrounds, to be honest, and just pressing X, A, or B in particular options. Do AI act currently depending on the personality and the amount of damage that gets done to them? Certainly not in multi-man matches and 1v1s. I mean, I didn't see people run away or anything like that. There was no new match types, by the looks of things. Did you see the Fiend in the game? I don't know about the roster, to be honest. Like I say, we were not given the full roster, so I don't know. Any new weapons? There's a hockey stick, but it acts like a kendo stick. Are squash matches still in? I didn't see any squash matches when I played it. That's not to say they're still not in there. Championships look alright. They look fine. Combo moves were in the old Acclaim games in the 90s. WWF Attitude and Warzone. And the ECW games as well. What do you think they're going to reveal tomorrow at IGN FanFest? I think they're going to reveal Showcase. Hello, PWF. You forgot my question, Dean. Yokozuna was really my fan favourite. Can you ask you about him? I don't know if he's in the game or not, Dean, because like I told you, we weren't given the full roster, so I don't know who is in or isn't in fully. All I know is the people that have been confirmed by 2K themselves. Any information on Creation Suite? No, because we weren't having access to it at the time, so we don't know. Did you see if Towers mode is still in the game? There doesn't look to be a Towers mode. I think MyFaction is what they want to be focusing on, that sort of single player aspect. But we didn't have access to MyFaction, so don't know. Can you edit the brands in GM mode? No, you are, as far as I know, restricted. You can't have like a custom brand, as far as I know. It is Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or NXT UK. Do the wrestlers look good for the less good than wrestlers who have lived in the past? I mean, people who have passed away, obviously they can't do facial recognition, so some of them aren't going to look as good as people that have been facial recognition. What was the tweet of a hint of a new match type about? What hint, Mr. Gamer? I don't know what you mean on that. Are all basic strikes combos, or were some just one punch kick? So combos, some were 3-button combos, some were 4-button combos. And it's a combination of strikes, light strikes, heavy strikes, and grapples. I know, was it for Roman? There was a nasty big boot strike combo that only needed 2 or 3 strikes. That was very easy to hit, and it's big boots have always been a pain in wrestling games. What happens to Stamina Bar? Stamina Bar is a blue bar now that will pop up when you are running out of stamina. There is any comeback system and how to activate it. There is a payback that does say comeback, but without the Creation Suite, I don't know how to do it or anything like that. What does the new ref look like? I heard there are 2 new ref models. There is a couple of ref models. We've seen one. We've seen one, if not both, in the trailers, haven't we? Again, don't ask me about rosters unless 2K have confirmed it themselves. I will not be commenting on them because I don't know if they'll be in the game or not. The tweet that said this match is scheduled for 1 fall. I mean, that's. I would need to see the context on that, gamer, because entrances always say this match is scheduled for 1 fall. I mean, that's the common thing that gets said in every single match. So I don't know if that's a hint to anything, in all honesty. Any double championship entrances? Don't know, Chuck. Again, we're having access to Creation Suite. Couldn't go through entrances or anything like that. Are you able to do tag team championship matches in MyGM? No, just single belts, I'm afraid, and it's the major titles, no mid-card belts. I can't answer questions about people that haven't been confirmed because I don't know if they'll be in the game or not because we didn't get access to the full roster. Okay. Can you drop the straps? Don't know. Mark, who was in the chat earlier, was saying you can do that in 20, but you had it in 19. I don't know if you can do it. Again, don't have access to Creation Suite from that build, so we don't know. Best looking championship. Of course, I'm going to say the NXT UK Championship, but that's just personal preference. I don't know how they compare with it in being in the game. Who was my first draft pick? Ooh, that was a good question. I really excuse me. I really need to think about that, actually. I can't think. I don't even think it was a big... I think it was Asuka. I think it was Asuka was my pick 1. It was either Asuka. Yeah, no, I think it was. Commentary's just like normal, but bear in mind, I normally have the commentary like near nothingness because I just play the game. But it sounded fine. I don't know anything about the differences between the PS4 and PS5 version. Do you know if the announces titles properly this year? Don't know, Camo, because, again, didn't have enough time to look on that one. Can you crawl while in certain submission stills? Oh, so trying to get a rope break. I didn't perform submissions enough to check, in all honesty. I assume they wouldn't have removed that. It'd be very weird if they did remove that mechanic. Is GM mode... in MyGM, in promo, is there other options? There's call out, there's charity, there's advertisement, and then I think it's there's one to change yourself from a face to heel or heel to face. Is WrestleMania 33 in the game? Well, you see, the thing is, we haven't had a full list of arenas, and with showcase mode as well, we'll have more arenas as well. So we've not seen all the arenas, so I don't know if it'll be in or not. Best entrance, probably Goldberg. Hope we can do screw jobs in GM mode. Well, there's an option in MyGM to interfere as the GM, so you basically are in the manager role and do stuff. Is gameplay still the same? Gameplay's different to 2K20. You'll see the sort of physics and the engine behind it looks, with existing animations, looks the same. But it plays better than 20. I mean, the game's out in 3 weeks, so we'll definitely see more soon. GM mode also ends after the 15 weeks, X weeks or 50 weeks or whatever. You can't replay the same mode again. You would have to start afresh. It doesn't take on to a year 2, basically. Does GM mode always start booking the small gym venues, and can you start with already big arenas? So they unlock over the period of weeks the arenas that you want to play, and they'll cost more money to unlock. Is Greg Hamilton still the ring announcer in 2K22? I wasn't paying attention to the announcer, to be honest. Will wrestlers' stats update throughout the year like in NBA 2K? Don't know, Janet. Is gameplay easy to pick up? This is the thing I don't know, because I think the button system is so different to 2K20. If you're used to 19 and 20, it's gonna take a while to get used to the control scheme. In all honesty, you could obviously just spam the buttons and do the combos and stuff, but if you want to do the Irish whip and the carry grapples and stuff, I think it's a lot harder. There's no new match types other than the new Backstage arena. Sonya is a playable wrestler. Someone else is asking about Roman hasn't got his latest tattoo on the back. That was 2K have said it's a work in progress and not necessarily his final model. That's all I know on that. Do they have better chair shots? The animations are still the same, but the chair does start to crumple and stuff. You can't, at least from the model, the gameplay I played, I couldn't do a concerto or the Pulmanizer. I hope that they're still in the game, but I wasn't able to activate them. They could be restricted to a superstar trait now. I don't know. I didn't have access to Creation Suite, so I can't answer questions about attires or anything like that. Main menu's clean. It's crisp. It's nice. It's nice. Physics feel better than 2K20, that's for sure. Commentary feels just the same. Like, not massive improvements, but it's certainly not atrocious. Again, asking me about particular guys and stuff. I don't know. I'll be 1 minute. I'm going to get myself a drink because my throat is starting to close up on me. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I changed my mind, and instead of getting a drink, I got myself an ice cream. Lovely cornetto. Right, what have we got? Excuse me. The strawberry sauce in the ice cream got in the back of my throat. Any updates to Universe Mode? We don't know about Universe Mode yet. Charles, useless. What do you mean? I've been talking non-stop for 80 minutes. My throat is dry as anything. Does GM Mode have any online capabilities? No. There is share play options like with Steam and stuff, and I'd imagine the same with remote play for PS4. But that's about it. Can you put people through the announce table without using a finisher? I did try to do a normal move beside it, and it like the Brock Lesnar stuff, and it didn't work. The carry grapples would probably still work on it like it has in previous games. Most fun match I had was the backstage brawl and throwing people off the tall structure. No question. Very Here Comes the Pain vibes on it. Just wish it was more than 1v1. Can you hide the highlight reel controls without having to save the clip like previous years? Nope. It's still the same, but you do get 27 seconds-ish. According to this build, anyway. That time could change, of course. Yeah, the options to display controls you can't remove, which is, again, really annoying. Still. Comparing to 2K20 is low-hanging fruit. Yeah, of course, but the key thing for 2K22 was to be better than 2K20, which thank God it is. It will be totally up to public opinion when if it is better than 19. The thing with the combos and stuff and making the control schemes, it's got good things that are better than 19, and it's got stuff that are worse than 19. It remains to be seen if it's going to be on par with that. So we'll have to see how it goes on that. Does the standard highlight reel record audio this year? I don't believe so. Not unless it's we didn't have access to the proper highlight reel function, just to the that 27-second clip bit, because obviously that's in the creation suite, the proper bit of it. So don't know, but I'd assume they haven't made any changes because it just felt like the same thing. Other than that, if you were fast forwarding or rewinding and then going to the camera, the animation was still playing at the speed you were reversing or fast forwarding, so you could make it nice and slow and move. But you still had the control schemes pop up, so it wasn't perfect. Will you be playing online when the game comes out? Yes, because that's what I do. That's what I do. Certain superstars look great. Females look great. I did see Maurice. L Revolution knows so much more about the female roster than I do. Go check her videos out for female roster breakthroughs and downs and stuff, because she'll do much better justice than I will. Does Rey Mysterio have his first WWE intro? Well, the thing is, because of Showcase, we don't get to see how all the existing old stuff is in. So, don't know. I'm going to ignore Claire Drearfield's question. Any new match types, James? No. Just the Backstage goal. Is my GM mode 1v1? Yes, it's only 2 brands. That's all it is. Whether versus another human or the AI. Will they add the mid-card title and tag titles later? I shouldn't talk with my mouth full, sorry. Will they add the mid-card title and tag titles later with an update in GM mode? What's your thoughts? They've confirmed they're not. They're not going to do it. You're stuck with 2 titles. Will this game play at 60 frames of 30 on PS5? Do not know, Die Hard, because we did not have access to that build of the game. Is there an online GM mode? No. What basically it is using a share play functionality. Remote play style thing. Yeah, no mid card, no tag titles. It's just the main major titles: the WWE and the female WWE, women's WWE, Universal Championship, women's WWE Championship, NXT, NXT Women's, and NXT UK and NXT UK Women's. Is pinfall very slow? Wasn't the build we played, but they have said they have fixed it. Do you think 2K will do a full roster reveal, or are they trying to not to advertise the rest that have been released? We've not been given the full list, so I don't know. I can only speculate. I can't be bothered on that one. No guest referee from what we can see. It could be a nice surprise, but wasn't in the build we see. Dominic is meant to be in it. In an interview, Lionel said to us that he's in Showcase, basically, as an unlockable. But we didn't get a chance to play him because it was locked. What's up about Creation Suite? Don't know, because it wasn't accessible for us. How does the 24/7 title look? I didn't get to see it properly. I just saw the menu option. I didn't see it in action. No guest referee that we're aware of. Can the Universal title and GM be exchanged for the World Heavyweight Championship? No. It's stuck. There's not that much movability on whatever brand you choose. That's the titles you get. So the video we are seeing isn't representative of PS5 Series X. I think the video capture of this was PC. So I don't know what PS5 and Series X will look like. What is something that we can expect that will change in the final build? I mean, the pinfall. That's the main thing. I don't know what else could be changed. If it played you now, can it be Ray if you want? We don't have access to play the build anymore. There's definitely new move animations in the game, absolutely. What there is, we didn't have access to the creation suite, so I can't see all the new moves. Can you have a 40-man rumble? No. Certainly, it seems to be still capped at 30. They only did the 40-man for that 1 year. It would be nice to have the option, don't get me wrong. It's just an extra 10 numbers to put in the game, honestly. Any info about PC requirements? I think that the PC requirements are on Steam, aren't they? Can you interact with the crowd? I'm nearly finished my ice cream. I'm down to the chocolatey goodness. Can you interact with the crowd? I don't think you can interact with the crowd. It's not like the old SVR days where you could grab weapons or anything like that. Gameplay is this gameplay you're seeing on the screen right now. Is it fast? That's up for you to decide on that. Is the community good all the same? What do you mean by community, Byron? Championships, they look the same. Will the PC graphics be equivalent to PS5 and Series X? I don't know. I don't really know. Oh yeah, because there was a 50-man rumble, wasn't there? The Greatest Royal Rumble, but it is capped at 30 anyway. In this build anyway. Is the 2020 Rumble Arena? It wasn't available for us. That's not to say it's not in, but I think with that diagonal entrance ramp, I can't see it being in the game in all honesty. The controls are the complicated WF attitude. The combos are more like 2K Battlegrounds where it's just button tapping. There's no analog stick movements or anything like that. Where's Roman's tattoo on the back? It's, don't know. The footage is work in progress and it may not be the final model for Roman. Does GM mode have couch co-op? Yes, Jose. Yes, that's basically what they mean by the remote play. Yeah, you can have human versus human on it. Can you slow the gameplay down if you wanted? No, it's whatever speed that this is. Can you use Drew McIntyre's sword by breaking out? Don't know because I didn't try that. Are there more than 100 new moves? They said months ago there's like 2,500 new animations. That's probably combinations of entrances, victory animations, and other things as well. So there's got to be more than 100 moves. There's certainly for counters alone. Do the titles look the same? I never paid much attention to the titles in the first place, Matthew, so I can't say on that. Some entrances do look stunning. No question about that. Goldberg is awesome. How many basic strikes do you have? Is it still 5? I think, again, Creation Suite, it's like I couldn't see the button options. Because when you pause the menu, you don't get to see all the control scheme options. But I would assume it's still 5. Is blood improved? Do not know. Do not know because that option wasn't available to us. No. There is no mid-card championships in the final build. There's no tag team championships in the final build. They are not getting patched in. They have confirmed that already. That's not to say in future iterations that there won't be in like sequels, but certainly not getting patched in. People have already put the roster could change, so I'm not going to comment on anything as much other than the ones that have been confirmed by 2K themselves. What is that yellow bar that pops up when you're getting pinned? So the yellow bar is stun. When you get hit with a finisher, you get stunned. That stun bar disappears if you get pinned, or it stays on until it runs out. Basically, it means you can't counter anything, or you shouldn't be able to counter anything. Certain people, like I did this with Mandy Rose, I was able to hit all 3 finishers of the running knee strike in one go. I didn't see the full roster because some characters were locked in showcase mode and stuff, and I don't know what could be taken out. We're just going with what's been confirmed by 2K themselves. Can you fight in the crowd? I didn't get to try it. I completely forgot to try it out because I was mostly doing multi-man matches, and the 1v1s I was doing, I was being very silly, and I didn't try it. Or I was playing the brawl. Thoughts on having the grapple before an Irish whip? I feel like it's a little bit limiting in that respect, in all honesty. It's a pain. I think it's a pain. I might get used to it, but it's the same as also trying to do the carry grapples. It's now you've got to go into the initiate of that grapple position to then do the carry. It's an extra step that maybe wasn't warranted. Multi-man camera angle is a bit more further back. It's not like this exactly. It's a little bit further. And yeah, it's fine, to be honest. It works. Are there new referee animations? Not that I saw. We've not seen anything about universe mode. We didn't get to play it or anything. Is there different levels in Backstage Brawl? Go check my video, Alex. I have posted on, and you will see everything about me talking about Backstage Brawl. I didn't play every single nook and cranny of the Backstage Brawl that I would have liked because there was limited time, but there is multiple height levels in the middle area of the Brawl backstage. Can you assign any new weapons to grab on the via the weapon wheel? Yes, I'm pretty sure you have the option to put the hockey stick in that wheel. But there wasn't really that much new weapons added, to be honest. How much of a pain was the camera during 8-man matches? It was alright, actually. Didn't have any complaints about it. Can you do a diving finisher from ladder? You can dive off the ladder. I never attempted a superstar with a diving finisher from the top rope. I never tried it. What's your opinion on the game? Because I'm going to buy it, so I want to know if it's worth it besides posting YouTube videos. If you enjoy playing wrestling games, you will still enjoy playing this. It's up to you, ultimately, from seeing the footage, if you enjoy playing it or not. Because if you enjoy playing the other ones, you're more than likely still enjoy playing this. Backstage Brawls, I mean, it's stuck to 1v1, which is the sad part. It could have really benefited from multi-man. But I like the height system. Hopefully that gets expanded in future. Were you able to play the Rumble, and what camera angle are they going for this time? It's a similar camera angle to this for the Rumble. You don't get to see the entrance ramp or anything. Is the Book of the Dead still in the game? I didn't see any of the DLC weapons or DLC arenas. There was the cage and the Hell in a Cell from the DLC still in the game, in this build. But the final build may have them in or they may not. I just wasn't in the build that we had. Didn't get a chance to play my Rise, so can't tell you on that. Is Resiliency still in the game? Yes, it is. Still in the game, yep. It's one of the paybacks. There's no 2-level paybacks now, so there's no possum pin or anything like that. Is Beat the Clock back? No, there's no new modes that we noticed. It is just existing of what was in 2K20 by the looks of things. The maximum amount of wrestlers in a match is 8. Will the grey Hell in a Cell be in the game? So the black one's in, the red one's in. The grey is the black one, isn't it? The old cell, the red cell, and the Scrap Trap cell. The rusted one is what's called, isn't it? Because Scrap Trap is the steel cage, isn't it? Can you make Legends return in GM mode and the in-game social media react? You can't really react to the in-game social media from what I could see. You have the options to buy Legends in the GM modes, yes. Ask me questions about roster. I can't answer them unless they are explicitly being confirmed by 2K, because I don't know who is in or who will not be in fully. What features, Trey? I don't know. The question is so generic. What are the features? What features? Do we still have the red and blue minigame for submission moves? No, it is button bashing. You see it in this gameplay clip. You see the button bash combinations like Rumble. What features? Can we use create superstars in GM mode? You can use create superstars for to be a custom GM. I don't know if the create superstars can become free agents. I don't know. Honestly, don't know about that. Is the Raw half pipe arena in the game? Do you mean the current arena? Do you mean? Because we have the Raw, basically one of the arenas. You've got the Raw 2020 arena, the Raw Thunderdome arena, and the Raw 2021 arena. Well, the game mode's the same as 2K20, Trey. The same as 2K20. Is the old Elimination Chamber in the game? The current one, it definitely is. I forgot to check to see if the old one was in the match creator. I don't see why it wouldn't be, because it was obviously in 2K20. I can't see them taking it out if the cage match variants are still in and the Hell in a Cell variants are still in. It wouldn't make sense in my head. There wasn't any improvements to it, to my knowledge. How do you gain more money? Use bigger arenas. I mean, you lose money for paying for bigger match types, but by doing so you can get more fans as well. So, are there different Thunderdome designs, or are they all the same design as shown in graphics, being no differences? Honestly, Warrior, I don't know, but I would assume there is just the graphical details. The size of the arena and stuff will be the same, I think. Darius is saying, I believe the Ringside report confirmed that you can use calls on GM mode and they generate a price for their contracts. If that's the case, awesome. I can see the longevity of it using a full created superstar roster. If that is the case, that would be great, but I haven't paid attention to the Ringside report for that particular point, so I'm not taking his word for it. I'm just saying what he's commenting on it. It would be cool if that is the case, though. I want the Thunderdome picture to be Danhausen. Yeah, no. I think the videos for the Thunderdome were of 2K employees. And that's what I think it was. Do you expect this game to be fun for you? It depends. It depends how often you're going to be playing the game, of course. For me, I like to play online, so until I get to play it online, I don't know if it's going to be fun to play or not. There's no, at least in this build, there was no special referee. And there was no new match types other than the new backstage area. We don't know if the SmackDown Fist arena is in the game or not. It wasn't on the list we had, but it could be in the showcase. It would be cool if it was in the game and it was very much like Shut Your Mouth where you could climb the fist. But we didn't get to see it. So it could be in, it might not be. They've said in an interview that the limits for Create a Superstar for the slots and everything is still the same. It is unchanged. So I'm assuming the local limit is still unchanged as well. Can you still put someone through the barricade in Thunderdome PC Arena? Never got to check that out, Alex. They were fixing the gameplay, to be honest. They wanted to get the gameplay right first before adding any new modes, to be honest. That was their way around it, Trevor. Because 20 was a cluster mess of hell. Are hair's physics better? Better than 20? Yes. Is it still up to what I consider good? No, I think it's still quite bad, to be honest. You see it in the Roman gameplay. Granted, it's not the final build, but I can't see them fixing that issue. So, hair is hair. Let the gameplay speak for itself. Oh, the game is trash with no new game types. I'd rather have a game that works than a game that doesn't work with new match types. There's no point putting in brand new types, but the core gameplay isn't there. Can you please say more of us about Backstage area? I mean, I've talked about what I needed to in the video, Andrew. If you want to go and check it out later, because I was just throwing people off the top. There was a parking lot bit and there was an interview stage bit as well, but that was the key thing I wanted to play with. No access to Creation Suite, I'm afraid, so couldn't really do anything about it. Didn't get to see any Arena or anything Creation Suite, so don't know what's in or not. And my Rise storyline didn't get to play any of that either, I'm afraid. How do we gain money in MyGM? By putting on good shows. I didn't have any crashing issues whatsoever with the build that we were given. And granted, it wasn't the final build either. So normally you expect to have little nooks and crannies not working on it. There was no issues, no fatal errors or anything like that, which is a good sign. Did you see any new moves? There's plenty of new moves and animations in the game. You can see it in this gameplay. That kick counter and stuff. It's lots of new stuff. Do not ask about wrestlers. I will not answer the question. Diggity ball. Stop asking me if particular guys are in. I won't answer it because I don't know if they're going to be in the game or not. We weren't given the full list. Can we use custom wrestlers in MyGM? You can as your general manager, Jack. Someone has posted in the comments saying you can draft them as free agents. You can add them in as free agents. I don't know about the starting point because we didn't have access to Creation Suite, so we couldn't try anything like that. Does the ref do double 10 counts above the line down? No. There was only one game that did that, and that was 06? SVR 06? Will pre-pandemic arenas be included? Like I said, the list I had, there is some 2020 arenas. But the Royal Rumble was only 2021. I don't know because we didn't see the full roster. Never mind on that one. Do you see this going over well with the fan base? I think, you see, this is where my opinion is probably not the popular opinion on this. The hardcore community are going to be upset that certain things aren't at a scale, like GM mode. My GM shoot. Oh, thank you. I wasn't expecting any donations, but thank you. I don't expect any donations full stop, but it's nice. Because I never get donations, so it's a nice change of pace. But I've never asked for my. It's your prerogative if you want to do that. Did you see? No. Can you pass your versions of Legends, count stars, and general management? There's a Legends section, and you can purchase them down the line. Diggly dog. Bum, dun 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 bum 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 bum. How's the hit detection this year? That's a question I've not seen yet. That's what I want to see. The hit detection better than 20. Better than 20. There is still issues, I think, especially when you've got multiple people trying to hit one person. There is lots of missing bits. Certainly with pinfalls and stuff, they don't react to the pin being broken up. Highlight reel is still in the game remote. Does the console generation difference make a difference? Don't know that guy because we were using the PC version. But highlight reel is 27 seconds long. It's not as bad as 2K20. Can community creations PC players post mods? Don't know because we didn't have access to community creations. Is it easy to learn the controls? The basic controls, probably. I still think hitting a finisher is too complicated. Same for a signature. Getting into the Irish whip to whip them into corners and stuff, I think is complicated. Carry grapples and stuff. There's too many complicated parts of it. How is it when you break moves in one of my matches? The moves can be broken up just like... I mean, it's still the same as 2K19 and 20 in that respect. There's obviously new move animations as well that interfere into it. And they'll react in that similar sort of way. Diggly dog. Can you revert back to the old controls? Don't know that one. Because we didn't have access to the second menu either. I'd assume no. Are there multiple ties? I didn't see with any of the superstars I saw multiple ties, but again, we didn't have access to the creation suite, so I don't know if that is an option to have for superstars. They have mentioned that they're patching in the pin bar fix to make the pin count faster, so there is definitely content throughout the year. There's definitely going to be content throughout the year for the MyFaction as well. But they haven't talked about MyFaction that much. It's just what they said in an interview they did with us yesterday. Carry grapples are still in. Yep, I chucked people off the top of the structure in the Backstage Brawl. It was fun. I don't know if it's 60 frames or 30 frames per second, Darius. It depends, I'd imagine, on the console. Don't know. Grapples and whips without lockups. Grapples, so from a standing position, if you did a button combo, you would get to a grapple sort of seamlessly if the other strikes hit. Otherwise, you have to press the lockup grapple before you can do Irish whip and any other grapples. Can you still use Match Creator, and is there any new options? Match Creator is still in the expedition modes. You are able to adjust and also make a template as well. That is still there. I didn't see any new options on that. Does the ref stay long when knocked out? It felt... I think the ref got knocked down once and it felt pretty similar. Do people speak in promo in MyGM? No, it's just a text. It's not even a text. You can't simulate, can't preview it. It just simulates the matches if you want them. We did get to universe mode, so don't know. Is the jukebox feature in the game? Don't know, because we only had access to MyGM and Expedition. None of the other menus were available to us to click in. So cash-ins, we don't know. I mean, if it's like anything before, then yeah. Like when it comes to universe and stuff, I'd imagine it's still the same. But we didn't have access to universe mode, and we didn't have access to blood, so we don't know what it's like. Again, it was part of the settings option that it normally is, isn't it? So we wouldn't have access to it. Some entrances are awesome looking, no question. Others, because of the hair not being right and stuff, that hair physics is not great at all. It's a problem. There is no new match types from the list that we got given us. There may be secret ones that they're going to put in the final build, but certainly wasn't when we played it. I didn't see any strap down animations channel, but I wasn't explicitly looking for anyone with that animation. Can you adjust the settings to hide the rating and health bar? So you can remove the HUD. Yes, like you could before. Cool Blaze, please answer. Okay, I answered you. How long did I play 2K20 for? I mean, I played it on and off for the last 2 years. I was still playing it online. I see there's a submission bar being button bashing. Roster-wise, did you have the full roster or just a few? Like, have you seen people not announced yet? So roster-wise, there was definitely people that were not available that would be unlockable in like showcase mode, like Dominic and stuff. I don't want to talk about the roster or particular superstar guys realistically unless 2K have 100% confirmed it, because I don't know what the full roster is going to be like. There could have been people not on this build that we played that are going to be in the game, and vice versa. So that's why I'm not going to comment on it. Any improvements on paybacks? No, it's the same. They've removed all the level 1s. It's now just level 2 stuff. Please answer. I have answered. There you go. Main menu looks like the same. Just the same. Just the same. Well, no, it's not the same. It looks nice and tidy. But again, because we restricted to only 2 modes, we didn't get to see the full main menu. Am I excited for 2K22? I'm certainly in a better mood than I was for 2K20. I'll put it that way. Do you prefer button bashing on the meter? I prefer the old pinball meter from 2K20. I hate the button bashing aspects. Is Roman's other guillotine in the game? So he has for finishers. I did have this noted down. I can say that. He has the guillotine choke as a finisher as well as the spear. The cravat sleeper that you see in the Finn Balor gameplay with Roman is a signature. So no annoying trailer video menu loop. No, not that I am aware of, Ishan. It was just nice and crisp. 2K confirmed Amanda Rose will be in the game. Does she have her toxic attraction gimmick? She doesn't. She has the Dana Rose tag team attire from WrestleMania. Did you actually play GM matches or only simulating? If you played, is there cutscenes and storyline? There's no cutscenes and storylines or anything like that I'm aware of, Liam. If you chose to have an interference, like a generic interference, not a GM interference, you could only simulate the match. You couldn't spectate the match, which is a little bit disappointing in that build. Whether that can be patched or not, I don't know. Spectating regular matches and having the lovely Kevin Dunn camera angles was a great feature, in all honesty. I hope that's something we can see in Universe Mode, but they've not commented on Universe Mode, so I don't know if that's in or not. I would love it to be in, of course, but we've literally heard nothing about Universe Mode. Does John Cena still have Lightning Fist as the finisher? Oh, I can confirm that is Attitude Adjustment and an Avalanche Attitude Adjustment as the finishers. 5 Knuckle Shuffle and STF as a 6. I can't rate 2K22 yet because I've not played the full version of the game. Did you see any new finisher pin combos? Good question on that one. Yeah, that's a good shout because I'm trying to think in my head and I'm not. Nothing's coming to mind. Nothing's coming to mind at the minute. Something might come to me, but certainly not at the moment. Do they add the 24/7 title? 24/7 title is in the game as a title. There is no new match type, so there's no Buried Alive match. When you get the chance to give feedback, please suggest a physical draft where we can see the GMs as they make their picks and the occasional backstage reaction. I understand where you're coming from, Liam. Just having it as a menu option can be annoying. Some people obviously want to see, this is this person, like the old days. Are the weapon buttons separate from the ring exiting, entering the ring? It's LB to pick up a weapon, and it's... Is it LB or RB to leave the ring? I think it's RB to leave the ring. LB to look under the ring. I think. AI this year is alright. It's not spectacular. It's very predictable once you get the hang of the game. Are tie bins more present in the game like crawl and drape the arm over in 2K15? The thing is, because of the stamina bar now being that blue ball, I wasn't checking it, to be honest. It will be something I will check out next time. Again, because we didn't have access to Creation Suite, I don't know about the entrances or anything like that. There is a career mode called My Rise, but we didn't get access to it. I'm going to get myself a drink because I'm really, really going to go. So give me a second. Right, that's me back. I've upgraded from an ice cream to a lolly. Let's see how that helps. Can you change the pin minigame? They've confirmed that, but we didn't get a chance to do it in that build. Would you consider gameplay to be on par with Here Comes the Pain? Ooh, and that's a tricky one. The thing with Here Comes the Pain was, with the old multi-mines, you could still do crazy stuff backstage and stuff. The fact that backstage is just 1v1, I would say that Here Comes the Pain would be better in that respect, of course. I still think there would be replayability, but until I play human players, I didn't get luxury of facing anyone apart from the AI, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, I don't think a tied finisher would work until your stamina bar is near empty, basically. How you dealt? Do you think it was funner to play than the other 2K titles? It certainly was more fun to play than 2K20. The fact that this has got on the same modes as 2K19 and 20, it feels similar in that respect. And I think it will still be fun, but I need to play human players to see how this reversal system being unlimited, because it might become a real chore when it's just a counterfest all the time. That's my issue. Limited reversals for some people was annoying, and I can understand the learning curve part of it because people spammed it way too much. But ultimately, having too many counters then restricts you from playing the game as well. Are you actually playing it right now? No, this is just a video on Loop FC. Do you have any idea when we'll get more reveals on gameplay menu screen and more? Well, IGN FanFest is showing off Showcase tomorrow, I believe. Are there double title entrances or any new women title entrances for general? Didn't have access to the creation suite, McFinn, so I can't really help you on that one, unfortunately. MyGM is on all fat platforms as far as I know. Can you explain to me what the squares at the bottoms are again? So if it's in blue, that normally means a taunt. If it's in red, that normally means an injured body part. We got no access to the universe mode. It was just Expedition and MyGM. Didn't see any double titles or anything like that animation wise. I would know if they were in if we had access to the creation suite, but we didn't have access. Oh, I prefer playing WWE on a console rather than PC, but the build we played was PC, so I used a Xbox controller to play the build. What GM are you picking? And who's your first draft pick? Well, I went into NXT UK, and I think my first draft pick was Asuka. Do we still have that dreadful rollout feature in multi-man matches? The rollout feature is still in multi-man matches. You will see a stun bar now. When the stun bar runs out, then you're able to get up early if you so choose. No, so at the bottom, Nathan, the blue bar is a signature bar that gets used for signatures and paybacks. There's a blue little circle up here above your head, which is your stamina bar, which will only pop up when you're running low on. Is the NXT UK area in the game? Not the BT arena, but there is an NXT UK arena in the game if I remember rightly. NXT UK 2020, not the new one, or the current one, I should say. The stun opponents, do we need to hit them with a finisher or signature? They will become instantly stunned when you do a finisher, unless you go for a ping. That stun will then disappear automatically. Doing a number of moves, strikes will also push up the stun bar. Do you sell major bumps? I mean, you sell all the moves. If it's early on in the game, ignoring doing a finisher straight away, of course, they'll get up a bit quicker. I didn't see really any alternate attires, but that's not to say they're not in the game. I do not know what's in DLC or anything like that. The Undertaker sit-up there. You're talking about synth is when they kick out, they do the sit-up. No, they don't do it. That I noticed. Except if you were the Undertaker. The Undertaker would probably still do that sit-up because that's his animation. But it's not instant. Can you climb announcer tables? I didn't attempt it, but I didn't see the option either. I did put people through the announce table like normal. On the GM screen, did you look at legends? Are they pricey? I didn't get a proper look at the legends, to be honest. I would say on par, to be honest. In all honesty, I wouldn't say massively more. Don't ask me superstars that are in the game or not, because I can't tell you, because I don't know for sure. Spamming it just means I'm going to put some blocks on people as well. What's my first match going to be in 2K22? Backstage Brawl, Backstage Brawl, Backstage Brawl, Backstage Brawl. Cool Blaze, I can't talk about everyone because I don't know. Because I didn't get to play it as everyone. Is the defense system as complicated as it seems? In my opinion, yes. With the combo side of things, because you don't know what button is what that your opponent's pressing unless you know their move sets as heavy as it is. Because certain light strikes could be in the heavy strike position and vice versa, strong strike position and vice versa. So I think it's too complicated. But I also understand that if they just made it Y button for everything, it'd be way too easy to counter. I don't know if they're doing live updates, Liam. There definitely will be patches, and there will be things with MyFaction, whatever the MyFaction stuff is. Are you looking forward to the Ultra Violence game? It looks great. For one guy doing it, massive props to him. Didn't see, like I say, I didn't see every single entrance of every single person. Some were locked in showcase mode, and I think Shawn Michaels is locked in showcase. Is MyGM more than 3 games? It's 3 games a week, 3 matches a week in normal, and in the premium events, the pay-per-view type events, it's 4 matches. Is the Hell in Cell resized to have a larger outside area? No, it's the same Hell in Cell as before. Arenas that we saw, and it's not the full list by any stretch. There is a WCW Monday Nitro. There is a WCW Starrcade 1996. Does Roman trash talk during matches? No idea. Didn't hear. Wasn't paying attention to that. Are the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships in the game? Good question on that one. I don't think the Women's Tag Team Championships were. They are not on... Oh, that's maybe an issue. I didn't... They could be, actually. But I never looked in the female tag team match options for title matches. So they could be in the game. I didn't... that's something I forgot to check. I just naturally just checked male tag teams. I didn't check female tag teams. So... They could be, but I can't confirm or deny it. Do you know why you weren't allowed to record footage? Nope. I honestly don't know. My hunch would be that it's because the PC, people have different graphics cards and stuff, and it would make the quality look different for each person. That would be my assumption. But I honestly don't know the answer. I could be well off the ballpark on that. Can you hit superstars with kendo sticks multiple times, not 4 times, like 2K20? With weapons before, it was done to make sure that, from a skill perspective, it was designed to be a not just a stamina thing, but from a gameplay perspective to drop it. I think you can strike more than 4 times if it's a like an indestructible weapon. Don't know about attires. Don't know about certain superstars unless 2K have confirmed it themselves. And even then, won't know everything. Immovable object ability. That's a shout. There is... Certainly, most of the level 2 paybacks are still in the game. The immovable object, I know what you mean, the super heavyweight versus the light heavyweight. Don't know. I can't remember, honestly. First community creation I'll download. I'll probably download AEW, guys, to be honest. Is there weight limits with the grapplers as well? I didn't do a high flyer versus a super heavyweight. I should have done that. Don't know about Andrews is stupid, Steve, because we didn't have access to Creation Suite. Otherwise, I would have checked all of that functionality up, but there wasn't the option. So, I have not watched anything about WWE for the pay-per-view or anything like that. How many superstars? I don't have a number for you, Pedro. There was no everything that was in mode-wise that was in 2K20 seems to be still in 2K22. There seems to be no new modes. Can you control rolling? I hate rolling by the bigger moves. Oh, you mean rolling out? Like in multi-man matches? You can't control that. Is there new cell animations for finishers? I mean, existing animations are going to behave the same way. Boom, 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 boom. Did you see the encyclopedia project that Brian Mazika started? Was it him that started it? I thought it was someone else. The fact that it's meant to be cross on the community creations is going to be a great thing. Oh, rolling in the ring. What do you mean rolling in the ring? Do you mean as in trying to get up and stuff? There's no new match types that we're aware of. Steel steps behave a little bit different. I couldn't do a powerbomb on the steps, but that's not to say that that's still not in the game. Like the concerto and stuff as well. I couldn't stack tables either. Either. So I don't know. I did play some women's matches. I used Mandy Rose. I loved the running knee. It's a very quick animation. The elimination chamber is now green? Oh, Jesus. Well, they're not going to update that quick enough for 2K, are they? Did get access to play Royal Rumble. It was 30 man. It was 8 players at the same time. Like it has been in the previous titles. No real changes other than the stun mechanic made it easier to throw people out. I don't know if there's any new animations because we didn't have access to create a moveset. Can the Royal Rumble Elimination Chamber matches be playable in all arenas? No, I think it's still restricted to that one arena. Can we move the bottom steel steps? I do not believe so, Ishan. Are there still invisible walls? Whereabouts, Alvin? You mean like on Hell in a Cell and stuff? You can still fall. You can fall off the side of the cell that isn't the main left and right. You can fall off top and bottom. Do you always roll when you get up? You don't always roll when you get up. It just depends. You sometimes start trying to grab the ropes and stuff, and sometimes you will just get to your knees and stuff. I would say that the get up animations are the same as before. No real differences to tag matches. I think it might be a bit smoother on the hot tag, but I didn't play enough tag team matches to notice. No new match types. Titles look, I mean, the titles look like titles, to be honest. I mean, cutscenes, we didn't have access to Universe Mode on My Rise or anything like that, so there was no access to cutscenes. I did see some run-ins, animations, and they were very similar to what they were in previous titles. You can place the table where you want, but you can't stack them. You can lean it on the corner, though, like you could before. This is the PC build that we played. Yeah, there's no soft lock on the weapons now. So, but also, Alvin, on the invisible wall side of things, just so you know, you can fall off, but not. It's a soft wall, okay? Well, I'm not talking like it's a hard wall where you can't fall off. If you get hit by strikes and stuff, you could fall off the edge. It's not just an instant. Oh, you run, you're gonna fall off. You need to be hit by a productive move or a carry grapple or something to be thrown off. Mandy Rose's attire is the WrestleMania attire that she had with Dana Brooke. So it's not her NXT look. Can you lean the table on the balcony? I never tried it, actually, Rainbow. I never tried it. I don't think there was an option to lean it, like, deliberately. Rosters, I don't know. Don't know. There's no new match types and no special guest referee, as far as we know. I don't look at titles, Ali, so I can't really comment on that. I honestly can't comment on it because I don't know about it. The big running clothesline that turns them inside out. Could be a new. I can't think which superstar had that, Del. Hey, Wrestle Reacts. I'm okay. My throat's absolutely hurting now for talking non-stop for 2 hours. Like, is there a chance the game becomes competitive? Like, are there any OP exploits and controls? That remains to be seen, because I've not played online. There wasn't an option, and there wasn't any option to play human players for myself. I don't think it's going to be competitive, personally. It might be. I could be really wrong on that situation. I feel like there could be some exploits, potentially, with certain moves. Certainly, if custom superstars, if a created superstar has moves that don't have mid-move animation reversals in them, I think that can be an exploit in that respect. What's the point of a taunt square? The taunt square, just like the older titles, I'd assume can help you gain up finisher bars, signature bars, and or do extra damage. I don't know if you can grab the ring bell once again. I never checked it. I don't think Raw Games is a thing. There was no new match types available. So unless there's a major surprise for us, and who knows, could be, there wasn't an option there available for us. What button do you press to get to the middle top rope? RB again gets you to the middle rope, I think. I think it's RB. Don't think it's LB. And then running will get you up to the top rope. Commentary's the same. There's obviously new audio tracks and stuff. I wouldn't say it's improved. It was already alright. Not something I pay much attention to personally. Dead in the dark. We don't know, Anthony, when it comes to creative superstars. We didn't have access to the creation suite, I'm afraid. Oh, thank you, Tobo. I'm going to stream for another 10 minutes or so get your questions in, Weapon wheel is still customizable, yes. I think it's also there was an option, I don't know if this links to the weapon wheel. You can choose your superstar to have a weapon for themselves. I don't know if that restricts one of the slots in the wheel or not, but the wheel is still there. Don't know about roster stuff, so... Can you do mid-move animations with suplex positions? I didn't try like you could have in the previous games where you could do a suplex and stop it by going into the carry position. I did not try that option. Well, unfortunately, I can't give you the roster, Steve, because I don't have the full list. Can't change the camera angle. This is the camera angle you get for 1v1s. Oh, has commentary gone well when it happens? I honestly wasn't paying attention. I don't think it was like over the top, otherwise I would remember it. Wait, how can you be playing early access? Well, they let me have early access. This is just a loop of a match. This is the camera angle you get. So, like 2K20, can you add like 3 tables to Extreme Rules? Yes, you can add multiple tables. I did do that options. But you can't stack the tables, but you can have a flaming table. I hope stacking tables is going to still be in the game. It was just a superstar trait. I did not see Roman's title entrance. So I can't comment on that. Do you still have the options to squash a match? I did not see the option available when I had matches. That's not to say they're not there, but it wasn't an option when I played it. Is the stun meter basically a major reversal? Sort of, Blue Ninja. It's basically, it is unblockable. That period of time is unblockable. So in that respect, yes. Did stamina show signs of wear tiredness? You definitely slowed down and went to a complete stop when you were out of stamina, so you couldn't run. I never got a chance to try it with tired moves. That's something we need to check. Can we do crazy stuff with ladders? It's pretty much the same as before. You still have the ladder bridge as well, but there was nothing new that I noticed. Can you break a folder table like if one leg breaks? Weirdly enough, Rainbow didn't try it. Didn't see it happen. So I don't know. You can tables break in the corner, that's for sure. I say under 10 minutes. Who's your favourite move set so far? Catching finisher is still in there. I can say that. Catching finisher, catapult finishers still in the game. OMG superplex break still in the game. But the mechanic for that for the OMG superplex break is different. It is not a finisher or anything like that. And double finishers are still in the game in the corner as well. And you only need one finisher for it to be performed now. It is not 2 or 3. I completely forgot to mention that in the original video. Double finishers are still in the game. Does it really hit different enough? That's the ultimate question with the tagline. Personally, no. It's a much better improvement, but it doesn't hit different enough in my opinion. Is stun and stamina the same? No. Because stun is being hit by various different moves. Stamina is the same, but the bar doesn't pop up until you've lost enough stamina. Oh, you got to see it, Dow. You bastard. You got to see the entrance. You son of a bitch. I will look to enjoy watching that one then. So thank you, Dale. Fuck. That's one of those things. I didn't attempt to break the barricade this year. I didn't try it. Is it worth $100 for the deluxe edition and stuff like that? That's your prerogative on that one. I'm not gonna make you decide or not decide on that. It is better than 2K20. If you hated 20, then this will be a solid improvement. Do wrestlers react when slammed on weapons? Well, do you mean sort of like what they did in the old days? I definitely did moves onto the ladder and stuff, and I don't think there was any major reactions onto the ladder by anything. It just looks sick. No new paybacks that I'm aware of. Stamina again. It's the same as before, Mitch. It just appears as a blue ball when you're running low, whereas it was in the HUD before. Well, you already spent $100. Well, then that's your prerogative. So, when we buy a new arena in MyGM, do I have to keep paying for it? And sometimes we need to stay in the small arena. You have to pay money to unlock it, and then you have to pay additional money to use it each time. When they say table breaks depends on a move, what happens if you do a huge superplex through it? Well, I never got a chance to attempt to do the superplex breakage ring escape through a table. I didn't attempt to try that. Superplexes in general, normal ones, will still break through the table providing the table's in the right position. That's just normal. Comebacks are there as a payback, but I didn't see who had what options or whatever. The comeback is an ability, and they say that it does extra damage. Whether there's the actual dynamic comebacks with certain superstars, I need to see Creation Suite, to be honest. Can you put someone through the pod in elimination chamber like Edge's Roman Spear? I tried to do it. I'm trying to think who I was. I feel like I was Bobby. And I couldn't do it, but it could have been a different move button instead of a finisher to do it. It could be an ability trait again. I'd assume it's still in the game. There's no reason. There look to be no changes in the elimination chambers whatsoever, so the pod space should still be in there. There's no reason for them to take it out, put it that way. Is there any point you do damage that shows body damage? Mitch, look at the HUD. You see the body part change to red. Byron, I'm skipping a lot of questions because I don't see all the questions. Honestly. The arenas, from what we've seen, I don't think there's any of the Saudi arenas by the looks of things. They're not listed, but that's not to say they're not going to be in the final game. Ray plays like Ray's played in previous games. I don't think there's any change to it. Can you explain the whole tie-up combo thing? It seems so unnecessary. You have to press the B button once to initiate the grapple, then in a very quick time frame you then have to just choose whether to do a light grapple, heavy grapple, or an Irish whip, or a carry grapple, or a drag. From playing the game for many years, it does feel like a step backwards in that respect. Whether the longevity of that will work, I need to play a lot more on it, in all honesty. OMG and paybacks are still in the game, but I don't think they class them as OMGs moments. I didn't get a chance to try like the DDT on apron or anything like that. Can you suplex someone multiple times through combos? No, it's not like All Stars, as far as I'm aware. Is WrestleMania 36 in there? WrestleMania 37 is from the arenas we saw there was no 36, but that's again not to say that's not going to be in the final game. 5 minutes, guys. More questions. The tutorial's quite fun with Drew Gulak. It was a fun tutorial. It's not that long, in all honesty. It's just summing up the basics. It doesn't really explain the carry grapples or dragging or anything like that. It is basically the bare bones, but it's a nice little thing. Don't know about Superstars or Creation Suite. Do not ask those questions because I do not know. Wait, so to combo someone we need to grapple them first? No, to combo someone you do the strikes and then a grapple, and you won't get put into a grapple lockup. It'll just do the grapple animation. Does the button mash kickouts range get so hard that you would be able to do it with a turbo troll you can trick thing? I don't know for certain wrestling gamer because I didn't really get pinned at all because I was facing the AI. But my assumption would be that when you're dead on no health, body parts red and everything like that, it should be impossible to kick out. I feel like if you can kick out every time with button bash, then there's something wrong with the game. But I think a turbo controller potentially could do it. But I have no way of testing it because I don't own a turbo controller, so wouldn't know. Don't know about every single tile on people or who's in the game in the final roster list, so don't ask me yet. Can you go on top of the barricade and announce table and perform a move? Don't know about announce table. I assume no for the barricade. You can still climb up on containers and stuff in Backstage Ball. So the grapple button will always be last button press for all combos. No, because some grapple combos end in strikes. I didn't see any new behaviours tab, in all honesty, for personality traits, but I didn't have access to the settings, so I don't know. Do WrestleMania arenas give you that big arena feel? I didn't feel a big arena feel, in all honesty. Didn't feel like it that way. We've had over 5,000 clicks on this stream, which is awesome. The chat rate's obviously been through the roof every minute. Can you turn off the red screen effect? I do not know. You can turn off the HUD and stuff. I didn't pay attention, to be honest. I wish I was able to record because then I could get you that answer to that question, Connor, because I was playing matches sometimes without the HUD on, but I didn't pay attention to whether the HUD got the red screen got removed or not. I feel like against AI versus AI though that it wouldn't show the red screen because R2 just got F5 there and it didn't show it in red. Do you slide off things like moves near steps? I feel like the physics is probably roughly on par when it comes to sort of the heavier items. I mean, the low blow is still a payback, so that hasn't been removed from the game. Are the stairs interactable? The top steel step is, the bottom one isn't. We couldn't do a powerbomb on the steps like previous years' games, but it could be a unique trait to like a ability that has been used for certain superstars. Can you change the camera angle? No, you can't. someone's asking, and I'm just going to double check. Bobby Lashley has the Hurt Lock, that's the full Nelson, and the Yokosuka Cutter as his finishers. Dominator and Spear are his signatures. Crowd reactions? I mean, some people are saying crowd reactions are better. I wasn't paying attention to the crowd. Yeah, you by pressing, so people can break combos, yes, by not using the Y button, by pressing the X or the A button or the B button to stop a combo. Is the gameplay better than 2K14 and 2K19? I mean, 2K14 is a very different game. That's very perspective on it. Are the camera switches only on finishers? I think so. I don't think it happens to regular moves or anything like that. I think it's on the big moves, but it could be wrong. Can we slam people on stairs? You can whip them in the steps, but I wasn't able to perform any grapples onto the steps. But they could... I mean, because the stacking table isn't in there, and the concerto wasn't in there, and the pulmonizer for the chair wasn't in there when I was playing it, because it's not the final build, they could still be in the game. It just wasn't in that build. That could be the same for the steps as well. I don't know. Was there any more sim options in the preferences? There was the option to increase the speed and how to game finishers and signatures. You could reduce the health bar to be down to low instead of high as well. Smacktoss was right. Bobby did do the cut that was in the trailer. Yes, so the cutter is one of his finishers. He used the cutter when he came back, didn't he? Before he used the Hurt Lock. Can you win a match without taking damage? Oh, absolutely. Very easy. Yeah, you could just have 3 finishers on and just do 3 finishes. I did that. I did that full stop. Can you have background music instead of commentary? I don't believe so, Adam. Right, I really need to go, so I'm going to wrap this up. So, a couple more questions, and then that's going to be it, guys, because otherwise I'm going to have no voice tomorrow. HDR, don't know, Adam. I was playing the PC build. There was no new match types that we're aware of, so no special guest ref. Physics just feel the same, to be honest. I didn't feel any differences to it. Oh, the Dominator is a normal Dominator, though. Or do you mean running Power Slam, Mitch? Because that, I mean, he did that in the old days as well. Here comes the F5. I'm gonna probably... No, thank you for coming out, guys, and watching. I know some of you, the watch time is far better than it has been. The clicks are stupid amount, and people obviously will look back on this. Thank you for the donations. It was about £40 worth of donations. I've never really had donations over the years of doing this anyway, so it's a massive surprise. So thank you for the guys that did. You didn't have to do that by any stretch of the imagination. And yeah, I will be doing more videos. I'll do a video dedicated to MyGM mode and my thoughts again. Go check out the 2 videos I posted today as well, if you want to know more about the Backstage Brawl and other things. And I will see you very, very soon for more WWE 2K22 goodness. Follow me on Twitter at ITSMYYARD, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much, guys. Take it easy. We'll see you later.